Hi, I'm Jimmy DeResta. Welcome to the Maker community.
Hi, I'm Andy Berkey.
I'm Izzy Swan.
I'm Sterling Davis. Welcome to the Maker community.
My name is Josh from the PI Workshop.
I'm Paul Jackman.
So I'm Joel Crawford.
Hi guys, I'm Bill Lutz and welcome to the Maker community.
Hey, I'm Sean with Stone & Sons Workshop.
Hi, I'm Wes from Geeksmithing.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I'm from the Southern Ginger Workshop.
Hi, I'm Jessie. Welcome to the Maker community.
Why did you first start putting videos on YouTube?
I was encouraged by David Welder to start putting myself out there. I've worked for years and years in my garage in kind of a solitary maker existence, I guess. And I got to talking with David Welder, who's an amazing cinematographer and maker. And his thing was, you know, put yourself out there and just allow yourself to be vulnerable, and you'll find that it comes back to you, which it completely has.
Originally, I was looking to make a picture frame or fix a picture frame, and I was looking online trying to find something how I could do that. And in doing that, I came across Steve Ramsey. Coming in contact with him, it just vibed, and he was just overwhelmed to help me, and I was overwhelmed to take the information. So it just came a relationship through email, basically. And he encouraged me. He said, show people what you're doing. So you're fixing this thing, show people how you're fixing it to give back. So basically that's where it came from, is just giving back to the community that gave to me to begin with.
So I originally started Southern Ginger Workshop to inspire kids or the younger generation to get out in the shop and build something. One of the things that I thought attracted kids was video games. So actually I started Southern Ginger, the YouTube channel, for video games, and then I slowly kind of converted it into woodworking and making. And that's really why I started it. That's why I'm here today.
Well, I originally started filming things because I do a lot of work with my kids and with neighborhood kids and kids like school and STEM outreach. And you know, people don't have VHS tapes anymore, so YouTube seemed the most logical place to store and chronicle all of our videos, so that my kids can go back when they're a bit older and see how they interacted and what they've learned. Watch the thought process on how to solve a problem, and just to chronicle what our shop is about and what we do. Mostly for them, not so much for other people.
When you first started, did you know there was a maker community?
I did not. I said I put stuff on there just for us, and a couple people found my channel, and I started getting subscribers, and it was kind of strange. Like, who are these strangers that are trying to look at my work? And then I'm sure this interview has had Wes Swain's name dropped a time or two, but yeah, he found my work and was like, oh, you need to come be part of this group, this online Facebook group. And it was very young at the time, and there were a lot of people doing the same stuff that I was doing, or things that I wish I were doing, or I was doing. That didn't make sense. And it just grew, and it was a lot of really, really inspirational and uplifting people. There wasn't a lot of like whining and drama or critiquing. It was everybody wanted everybody to be better. And it was such an inspirational place to find complete strangers across the world that you could seek advice from. If I had a CNC problem, if I had a planer issue or whatever it was, somebody either had that same problem and can empathize, or had the solution and you could get it back in minutes. It was amazing.
I wasn't. So I got a lot of help through my brother, who brought me into the community and said, hey, there's this group of people out there, and whatever you need, they will help you. Any question you have, they can answer. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. They will answer it, and they will be happy to do so. And in the year and a half that I've been doing this, it's completely true.
When I first started putting things on YouTube, I could not have been more unaware of the reach that video has, and just the absolutely supportive nature and lack of ego in the maker community, which is, I have found to be almost without reservation, completely supportive and encompassing of all sorts of skill sets, including, weird guys like me that hang out in their garage too much.
I knew there were a few people because searching how to do things on YouTube, I kind of stumbled across some guys that were doing the same thing. And so I had a little taste of it. And then once I started
uploading videos and that kind of thing, it just kind of, it was shown to me that there was so much more out there than just the few people that I was watching initially. And so, yeah, I later found out that there was a bigger community.
What is your reaction to this maker community?
It's incredible. It's humbling to see the energy that these guys have. I mean, people that are just coming to the show that aren't aware of this community, they come and they sit there and watch this community. I mean, there's energy there. There's excitement, you know, and onlookers recognize that. And it makes them want to, it pulls them in, it draws them in, it makes them want to be part of it. So I think it's awesome. I think it's a great motivator. The community itself is a great motivator for others to be involved. So it's a pretty magical thing.
It's kind of an incredible thing because, especially as a beginner, I never like to say, you know, I'm a woodworker or I'm, you know, a designer, because I don't really know what I am. I like to do things. I like to make things. I'm not very good at it, but I want to and I want to learn. And the amount of support that I've had from everyone, from people who have never made things to people who have made a few things to people who have been making things all their life, I can't even express the love and support that comes from all of the people in the community. I've never felt this in any other community. Usually it's more like I'm doing something similar, and so I don't want to support you, and not here. That doesn't happen here. And anything goes, and it's all welcome.
It's great. I love it. People say, "Oh, what do you know?" People sometimes think I'm too big for my britches now. They're like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Why wouldn't I be here?" Like they think like I'm going to come here and then I'm going to go with the jet set crowd in the evening. I end up sitting in the lobby with everybody all night long because this is my people. This is where I feel comfortable, just the way you feel comfortable with this group of people. We all talk about making things and the techniques and the tools we use, and we share ideas and what kind of microphone are you using, what kind of camera are you using. You know, this is how this community just keeps evolving, because shared knowledge. And I really haven't felt more comfortable with a group of people than I ever have in my life.
Because they're misfits. They're people just like me who need something to take their energy and to create things. And frankly, at that point, you're my kind of folk. And I didn't feel it all put out. It was an absolute honor to have everybody come over to the shop, load in, eat barbecue, talk about whatever we needed to talk about, and giggle and laugh and toss inside jokes around like it was a bad game. And it was a fun time. There's too many people who need a space in this world, because it can get a little dark sometimes. And when you find that group of people, you just hug them, you hold on to them. And they're your support staff. They're the people that you go to when you have ideas. They're the people when you have problems. And the maker community are the same people as you and I. And they allow us to be creative and give us that positive force to do that next thing. And that's why everybody came over. It's because they're my friends.
How would you best describe the maker community?
It's almost hard to put into words. It's a little bit. It's a stronger word than community. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like a brotherhood. It's a fellowship. It's sort of like a tie that binds us across, you know, the virtual space. You know, we're all from different walks of life, different backgrounds and cultures, and we find like a common ground, and we throw all the other stuff aside, you know, for sharing in what makes us similar, and also while supporting up the things that makes us different.
Oh, it's hard to explain. It's a group of like-minded people that you don't find anywhere else, really. It's a very special niche, and the mentality of the people alone is amazing. The creativity and flexibility just gives you that kind of a mindset. Helping other people, it's not competitive.
You know, for working for years and years alone, or with, you know, one other person in my shop, now I find that it's become a support network that I don't think I really ever knew I needed. I've always considered myself kind of a lone wolf, the weird kid in the back of art class, you know, the back row kid. I'm realizing now that back row has a lot of seats in it, and we're a cool bunch of people back there, and we don't care what the front of the classrooms do.
What is it that motivates you to go to the Maker conferences?
Its ability to network, you know, getting to meet people that you have never met before, or you see in YouTube comments or on Facebook quotes or things that, you know, putting a name and a face and, you know, mannerisms to that particular person, that, you know, you can form these very superficial, like, friendships, but getting to know these people and to interact and share real stories and real experiences, like, that's where you build those friendships. Because, I mean, as an adult, it's outside of your circle and your sphere of influence, it's really hard to meet new people. And so if someone moves or someone gets a new job, you know, you're out a friend. So now this community, you know, we can be superficial Facebooky, YouTube friends, but when you come together, these are actually people you enjoy hanging out with. You have automatically, you know, the same likes and dislikes. You know their opinions on things. You know their styles, and it's like online dating, but for friends, and friends that you already know you're going to connect with, and you immediately hit it off and become, you know, real life friends, not just superficial internet acquaintances.
Conferences it's funny because you know all these people through the internet, watching their videos on YouTube and everything, and you know you know them pretty well, but then you get to meet them face to face, which is amazing. People from across the country and then, you know, across the world. Some, you know, Jamie Page flew in from England, and guys came down from Canada, and all that. All these people that I would have never met in my whole life, I get to meet in person, meet online first, and then get to meet them in person. So it's hard to explain, but it's awesome.
But it's just nice to be able to talk to someone face to face that you interact with online, and just give that personal, I guess, interaction.
The fellowship. It's just that being around all these other makers, you get so much more inspiration. You get it's like going to the gas store and filling up your gas tank. You just get revived, and you get more inspiration, you get more motivation, and it's just fun hanging out, talking shop, talking tools, meeting people. Oh, I love just talking to people and saying, hey, I love what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing, and I love what you're doing, and we're building everybody up.
Well, a lot of the folks that I talk to actually at the show don't have social media, and they're, you know, so it's kind of interesting bridging that gap, being, you know, on the floor and talking to folks, and that's something that, you know, I think it's going to grow over time, but that's, yeah. I think social media is great, but I really want to get out there and meet people, you know, face to face, and actually, you know, get hands-on and teach people new stuff that we know, and hopefully, you know, learn stuff from them as well. Conferences like this, meetups like this, invigorate my creative spirit. You know, I operate in waves of creativity, and whenever I come here and I'm reminded of the reach that my work has, and the personalities involved, and how much support I have. That is huge to me, because you completely, you know, just get like a shot in the arm of adrenaline and creativity, and it's essential that I come to these multiple times a year.
What message would you most like to share with the world?
Like, what are you waiting for? Just get the saw, get the material, start cutting it. A lot of people hold a lot of these skills in very, very high, precious regard, and, you know, maybe they should, but it's really not that complicated. You know, this brick wall was put together by somebody putting one brick next to the next brick, next to the next brick, next to the next brick, and then after a couple of weeks you have a brick wall. And it's the same thing with anything we make. We're literally just filling that empty space with material that'll take up the space that our vision created. So when you reduce these things down, I think it makes it a little bit more approachable. And that's sort of the message I try to tell my fans and friends. It's not as complicated as you're making it out to be. You know, sometimes I don't even think about what I'm going to make before I grab materials, and I just start, I mean, I know I want to make a shelf, but I just start grabbing materials and seeing how they look juxtaposed next to this, next to metal, next to wood, next to plywood, and that's really where the ideas become. And a lot of people spend a lot of time mulling it over in their brain before they even go to the shop, to the point where they overwhelm themselves with well, what if this and what if that? A lot of those answers go right out the window the minute you start touching material. So if anything, my core is just get started.
Yeah, I would say don't be afraid to get started. That's obviously the hardest part a lot of times, and a lot of times people get hung up on trying to have everything perfectly set up to start, have all their different ducks in a row, and have branding well, and set up more like a business structure, which is fine if that's what you like to do. But just dive in. Don't be afraid to mess up. There are people there that'll help you out if you get stuck. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. That's the best way to learn. You don't learn anything from doing everything right the first time. Yeah. I mean, I have a project that I messed up 5 times, and I recorded every bit of it on camera just to show, hey, this is not a perfect presentation of something I made. It's not always perfect. You'd like it to be perfect. It's a lot easier to have a video that you start and stop the camera perfectly, no editing required. But for that specific video, I think people really enjoyed seeing the humanization and going through the same trials and tribulations and everything of having something go from your brain to real life. It's cool to see that process.
You just need to go out and make bad stuff really poorly, and then the next time make it a little less poorly, and then make something ugly, and pretty soon you're making cool stuff. And that's, if I could do anything in the world, I would put that message on a neon billboard that said, just go make stuff. Just go make bad stuff.
Just get involved, just say hi. Don't be afraid to make something, to go out and be creative. And it's why I like the maker term is because it's an umbrella that covers everything. You can be a seamstress, you can be a woodworker, make something, share it with others, because people want to know that. And this community itself is amazing. And once you get in, it's a rabbit hole you can't get out of, but you don't want to. So that's what I would tell people. If you want to be a part of this community, just say hi. I will shake your hand, I will give you a hug, and you are now a part of the community.
Hey everybody, I'm Nate. Welcome to A Young Man's Workshop. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all of the makers that took the time and energy to participate in this video. And for those of you who are watching, thanks for stopping by. I really hope this video helped you learn a lot more about the makers and the maker community. And I invite all of you to subscribe, like, share, and follow everybody that you saw here today. And if you're new to making or you want to be involved, I urge you to share your ideas and your projects. And if you have been making for quite some time, I also hope this video reignited that passion you have for what you do. Regardless of the circumstance, we're all in this together. And I hope that this was encouraging and inspiring for you to be a part. We are a group with arms wide open. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is, welcome to the community.
Yeah, look up the hashtag Blame Berkey. It's my way of kind of seeing the world hopefully through a little different light, and remind you to look at clouds because they're really freaking cool.